What do you want to say? Something about your show?
I shit on myself in the womb.
Stop, Phil.
You fucking stink.
You know what? Fuck this.
Oh, because it's Hollingsworth, but it's worth less.
I don't want to hear about whatever you have to say.
The worthless of the week.
Yeah. Hey, you just gonna sit up there the whole time?
It's a fucking Phil Fox scorpion. It's a move, man.
You fucking dummy. Ugh.
Look at what the fuck? How is it racist?
Black people.
Oh, God. Oh, shoot me now, dude. Just shoot me now.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless Program. I'm one of your hosts, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth, and as usual, we have the Hooligoons, the Goon Squad, the usual suspects, the dynamic duo today, Dumb and Dumber. I'm Dumber. The two-man group, just the two of us, starting with, you've seen him on Amazon Prime. He's the host with the most. He's part-time famous and full-time funny. Carlos Anthony the second.
No, I'm not the second. That's a Facebook thing. Because they kept blocking
all this
me.
fucking time. I thought
Yeah.
he was not a second.
No, there is a second. He's a junior, but that's that. I am the senior. Senior. But yeah, you're close enough. Close enough. We here.
Well, now I know. All this time I've been fucking like, I'm like, Carlos Anthony the second. That's how I always refer to you other people.
It sounds more prestigious than it is, but no. I am the first.
Can you imagine somebody does like your full name? Hey, do you know Big Irish Jason Joseph Hollingsworth? Fucking gross.
Hey man, settle down.
I know. Carlos, well, actually, no, you were on I think the last one we did, because we've taken 2 weeks off. I went to Boston for St. Paddy's Day and then recuperated from that. And then I was out in Hartford. And so got some topics. I'll tell you about some stuff after this, Carlos, about the topics. I could get you on the little list of the topics, but I wanted to recap the St. Paddy's Day experience and some of the dope stuff that happened while we were there. So and Carlos, by the way, is going to be doing it next year, the Big Irish J and Friends show in Boston. What up, BS Jeffrey? I know. Sorry, we haven't done one the last 2 weeks. Don't hate us, BS, but we're back. We are back. Yeah. So this I've been doing the Big Irish J and Friends show now. I think this is the third or fourth year. I think it's the fourth year, but yeah, and this year I had three of my buddies that before comedy, I used to work at Verizon, and my buddy Johnny, who I've known since like 8th grade, he started working at Verizon, and then we met this dude, Ron Peterson, at Verizon, that we used to always take a trip every year to Vegas. We'd actually come to Vegas every year, and then sometimes we did St. Paddy's Day, like we did St. Paddy's Day in New York and some other places. So they all came out to Boston, and my buddy Jaron, who, when I got fired or laid off in Boston, whatever. Yeah, I'll see you laid off.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, I'm gonna ever have a fucking day job again. There's no way.
Right.
But when I got laid off from that, I moved to Seattle and I lived with Jaron. And we used to do fantasy sports and shit. Anyways, so they all came out. So I went out a day early to catch the Celtics game. Like, we were all going to catch the Celtics game. So
who were they playing?
They played the Suns, KD.
Okay, so that's a good one. That's a good matchup. Okay.
And they kicked the shit out of them, so it was even better. But this is the first time me going out there not fat, because last year I was fat. I was, formerly fat. You're part-time famous, and I'm formerly fat.
You should put that on a shirt, but spell it with the P. Formerly.
Oh, dude,
That's
yeah.
it.
Kalia said the same thing. She's like, you should
See?
be. Yeah, I mean, I think about that.
Because you're on to something. You're on to something.
Formerly fat. The artist
Formerly fat.
the comedian formerly known as Fat. No, but
Fat Irish J.
yeah. Fuck. But the game was great, but I got high as fuck before. I took an edible and I brought my vape, and there was two great things that happened at the game other than the game itself. So my buddy Johnny grew up in the Northwest. He lives in Arizona now, but he grew up in the Northwest Oregon, and then Seattle Seattle, Washington for a while. And I'm sure you know, but my listeners probably don't. The Pacific Northwest is very like politically correct,
Absolutely.
very very woke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that Johnny, my buddy Johnny, is woke or anything, but he was raised in that environment, right?
Gotcha.
So we're in Boston, we're at the Garden, watching the game, and the Garden has like inside the Garden they have like concession stands and everything, but they also have like there was like a little Amazon little market, but it just had like drinks and chips, and then people go in there and then you check out or whatever. So me and my buddy Jaron are in line. We're buying something, and Johnny is just standing next to us, talking to us. He's just talking to us, right? Have you been to Boston before?
Never. I've never been to Boston.
That's my favorite thing is having people go that have never been. So
hold on, but let me pause. As a Lakers fan, it has typically been against my belief to go to Boston, but now we have to go, so we're gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah. So we're sitting there in line, me and Jaron with our items. Johnny's right next to us, talking to us. And the fucking Boston cashier chick, she says to Johnny, he's just talking to us. She goes, if you're not going to buy anything, go stand over here. Or she goes, if you're not going to buy anything, go stand over there. You make it look fucking busy. It looks too busy. And Johnny looked at me and I go, fucking go stand over there. Get the fuck away from me. And so he was just stunned. And I told that story every show. I was like, he got Boston customer service, and everybody fucking immediately.
That is hilarious. So she pretty much put him out because he was making it look busy.
Yes.
That's
she goes,
crazy.
You're not gonna fucking buy anything. Go stand over there. You make it look all busy. I was like, and then he looked at me like I was gonna do something. I just told him, I was like, yeah, get the fuck away from me. You fucking making me look bad. Yeah,
moose.
Yeah, be gone, peasant. And then we're walking, we're like, because Johnny's never been to the Garden, he's never been to Boston, so we're like walking all around. He's seeing all the cool stuff, all the history and stuff. And again, I'm high as shit. I see 3 cops in my head. I have to preface what was going on in my head. I see 3 cops, and I want to hit my vape, but I know that there's obviously no smoking cigarettes within anywhere in there.
Right.
And I was just curious if there's like a place like where you would go to smoke cigarettes or a vape or whatever, right?
Gotcha.
So I went up to the cop. Again, I'm high, but in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they'll respect me because I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm gonna ask them, I'm doing it the right way, right? And so BS Jeffrey said Johnny should have grabbed some tea and threw it on the floor. I get it. It's a little double entendre. So I walk up to the cops. And I go, hey, I know you can't smoke cigarettes in here, but is there any way around here or any place around here to smoke a vape? And all this cop said to me is, he just goes, how'd you get in the vape? Oh. And my brain shut down. I was like, I fucking just go, I think I started to say that I'm old, and I don't know why, but I just go, I was high, so I just go, I'm old. And then one of the other cops starts like trying to tell me, I guess, an outdoor place or a place I can go. But he's behind me like a supervisor or somebody that works for the Garden. So he kind of goes like, oh, no, don't say anything. And I look back and I see who they see. So I realize he can't tell me. So I just go, understood, officers. You guys are doing a great job. And then the supervisor looks at me and I go, they're fucking great. Protect and serve. Great job, officers. And then I just got the fuck out of there because I was so hot.
They should have said, hey man, come on, you got to go. Everything you put out. Have you ever got put out the Garden? They said, you're out of here now.
Yeah, no shit. Sanders says, comedian Carlos, you know why Jay walked up to them.
Absolutely, with no reservations whatsoever. He had no issue. Me, on the other hand, would not have even asked that.
Sanders, is it because they were black cops?
Were they?
No.
Of course they weren't. We're in Boston.
Oh, yeah, no. It's so funny. Dude, I've never been so like, you're high, obviously. When you're on, I don't ever smoke before I go on stage unless I'm doing Tyler's dope show. Shout out to Tyler. By the way, Tyler's sick this week, though. That's why he's not here. So pray for him. Straight Departed style. Yeah. I've never, when you're on stage, you're quick, you're firing on all cylinders. You're not high. But when this cop just said, "How'd you get the vape in?" I just was like, oh God, I think I probably started drooling because he just shut me down with those four words. How'd you get 5 words? How'd you get the vape in? But the game was great. They won, so that was good. And then the first night, do you know Akeem? Did you ever meet Akeem when he was out here?
Graham?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
that's
no
his
Instagram name.
Yeah,
Akeem Graham. So. Did you say no comment?
No. Oh. I said no. I said dope comment. Dope comment.
Oh,
dope
yeah,
comment.
yeah. Great dude. Yeah. So it actually worked out great for him. So I met him through our friend Kalia at I think it was the Laugh After Dark festival. And he's such great energy and just a good dude. And Kalia vouched for him. And then I saw him do, it was kind of like a not very busy room. But he still did great. And, like I always, I don't, if there's one person there, how does that comic handle it? Because he may be like, oh fuck, but you can tell, oh, he's a pro. Even though there's one person, he's a pro, and he was. So I was like, when I met him way back at the Laugh After Dark festival, I told him, I was like, I'm doing this Big Irish Jay and Friends show in Boston, and Kalia's on it, and I said, he was like, dude, I'll come down and hang out. I go, if you come down, I'll get you guest spots. I go, I can't pay you because I have a budget, and I already budgeted for the comics that I'm having on the show this year. But I go, I'll definitely get you up. And he's like, all right, cool. So we've been talking via text and shit, and he's been like, can't wait, whatever. So the night before the shows, Kalia, her dog sitter fucking flaked. So she, you know this story, but she got fucked. And she was so upset, which I get, and I love Kalia, we both do, and
absolutely.
And so I tell Akeem covered for Kalia, and I was like, now you'll actually get paid. You can do longer time, and so it worked out great. So
everything happens for a reason, even in that unfortunate situation. But yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Totally. And Justin didn't get in till Friday night, so he wasn't on the Friday show. He was there for the Saturday show. But Akeem did all the shows. He did great. Everybody did fucking great. That's and yeah, it was the shows were a success. We did a Fenway tour. We'll probably do that next year. I probably do that every year, like especially if it's somebody that's never been to Boston. But the Fenway tour is pretty dope. Because
you don't get to go behind the wall.
Yeah. Well, we went up on top of it. And now they have a restaurant that's like I think it's below underneath the Green Monster, or it's right beside it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This dog, I'm about to kill this dog. Apollo, fucking go somewhere. He just wanders around.
He's everywhere.
And then we went to Capo's, which is my favorite Italian anywhere in the world, but it's in South Boston, and everybody loved it. And then so me and my buddies, fucking my dumb buddies that I used to work at Verizon with, those guys that all came out. We have a thing where we always fuck with somebody at dinner, where we say it's their birthday, and then we like make, and we were
making a big to do.
Yeah, and so we were trying to decide between Akeem or have you met Ryan Cott?
I don't. That name doesn't sound familiar. No.
Okay. He's been at some of the festivals, but he's like Boston booker and club manager, owner, all that stuff. So we were trying to debate between both of them, and we decided to go with Akeem. So they come out with the fucking candle, everything, birthday, and we're like, "Hey, happy birthday, Akeem!" And fucking, he's just like, "What?"
Did Akeem know y'all were gonna do that?
No, that's the whole.
That's even funnier. That's hilarious.
And so he was just like, "What the?" But he was like, "This shit is bomb. It's so good." Right? so we're like, "Cool." Yeah, I'm reading all the notes I wrote down here. Okay, yeah. But yeah, it was
so it's Capo's. Is that I think they have one here in Vegas, don't they?
They do. They're not related. And the one here is great, but the one in Boston I think is better. It's as of right now, it's my favorite Italian of anywhere I've had. You know,
That's
so
okay. All right. I'm looking
well,
forward to it.
yeah. Oh, dude, I can't wait. And I know I'll know. The Cott's like my buddy Ryan Cott. He's the booker of all these clubs and everything, but he's also a friend. Like I consider him a very close friend, and he's so funny because I always stress on these shows, you know, because it's like you know, I want to people coming out, you know, to Boston, a lot of people for their first time, comics, and I want them to have this great experience, right? And so I push the show so much to where I feel like I'm being annoying to my followers, and like the Thursday show was, I think, or not, excuse me, not Thursday, the Friday early show I think was the lightest, and then Saturday was almost sold out. I think it was pretty packed, and then Saturday late was it was lighter than the Saturday early, but it was better than the Friday late or Friday show. But you know, I won't know until like October or November if they're like, yeah, let's do it again, because they have to look.
They're gonna do it again. You might as well go and speak that into existence. They're gonna do it again because you're building. I mean, people have to understand it's a once a year event, so it's building. And you got a good feedback from this one, so we're gonna be in that thing next year. What is this? 2025?
Yeah,
goodness, these years are flying, man.
Fucking crazy, dude.
I was like, what year are we in?
but this is how Cod is. He's a fucking asshole, but in the best way. So I think it was like on Friday, I was like, he called me or something, and I text or I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to post and push the shows, and he goes, good, we need it. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Here's another example. What I was doing, Nick's Comedy Stop, which is the oldest running club. It's my home club in Boston, but it's like a C club. It's not, you know, it's not all that. Laugh Boston is the shit. Nick's is just, it's tradition, right? So I'm there, and it turned like they only do one show. It has a hard out at like 9 or 9:30 because it turns into a nightclub, this nightclub place, right? So I'm just hanging out at the front with Cott as people are coming in, and he's taking tickets, you know, and he's like, okay, seat them over there, whatever. So somebody comes down and goes, hey, Cott, we're sold out. We can't take any more. We're sold out. So I look at Cott and I go, hey, you know, what you think? Your boy sold it out. Are you proud of me? What you think? And he just goes, fucking relax. You're king of the fucking Groupons. It's not that big a deal. Relax. And I was like, all right, thank you very much.
Well, I guess I'll have to take that.
Yeah, you'll love him. Cott's the fucking best.
That's all right. I look forward to it.
And then, this will actually directly affect you and me, or the show next year. So the Saturday early show, after the show, there's this this girl, Allie, that she's hanging out. I think she bought a shirt and stuff, and she's like, what are you guys doing tomorrow? And I'm like, we're going to the parade. What do you think? Of course, we're gonna go to the parade. And she goes, I have a house I'm at a house that's on the parade route, which is like the best if you can get that. Otherwise, you're standing on the sidewalk and, you know, drunks and all this shit and whatever. So she's like, you should come hang out. I go, done. We're there. And she goes, you're not gonna come. I go, give me your fucking number. We will be there. I'm fucking telling you. I go, my buddy Johnny has never been to Boston, so what better way to experience the parade than at somebody's house, you know, on the parade route in Southie. So she gives me her number. We start texting. Hey, what's up, Victoria? And she gives me her number. So the next day I'm texting her, gives me the address. We go there. I met her. It's like it's all kind of an involved story, but it's kind of like her adoptive or like parents-in-law, a father and mother-in-law, Janice and Steven. It was their house, and dude, they had food. They had a photo booth that you take. They had everything, and they were fucking awesome, dude. And we're just hanging out. We're going in and out of their house, go down to the walk half a block to the parade route, go back to the house, chill. It was fucking awesome. And so I told them next year, I was like, you guys got to come to the show. I'll get you guys all free tickets. And then we're going to hang out there for St. Patty's Day.
Hey, I'm down. Hey, listen, I'm already looking forward to it. So yeah, we speaking this into existence. It's going down next year, 2025.
Yeah, actually, that's who it is. And Allie lives in Florida now or Texas. I think I got to hit her up because I'm doing Florida next month. But
Okay.
but yeah, shout out to Allie because she's the shit, and Steven and Janice and everybody I met there. I have some. So you never met Manny, even virtually. Pride Parade. How dare you, BS Jeffrey? And what would be wrong with that, BS? You ain't get me canceled. But Manny, what's up, Miss Ma'am? Manny he just had another baby. He sent me a picture of her, and and she has like blue eyes, and I think he said she has a receding hairline.
Oh, right out the gate.
He's
Huh?
like,
Okay.
is this my kid? So
you
funny.
got one right out the gate.
But he posts topics sometime. He posted one that I was like, oh, this is a good one I was going to bring up. So what it is it hard for you to do business with friends? An example, and we'll take comedy out of it. So not talking comedy. He said, is it hard for you to do business with friends? An example, buy from someone new to real estate or insurance. And then the follow-up to that is, would you trust a friend who just became a doctor and was performing surgery on you? So
it depends on the friend. It literally depends on the friend. How long have we known each other? What's our rapport? Are we associates more than friends?
That's what I was going to say. It's a friend. It's not an associate. It's a friend.
Oh, and then I would trust them on the first one. I don't know about surgery. I need somebody who's been in the business for more than 20 years. But you ain't gonna test out. You ain't gonna test out on me. But,
but like, Carlos, I love you. I'm happy you're a doctor. Can we my surgery in like 3 years? We'll do that one. But right now,
actually, you can even sit in on the surgery with another doctor. You come on in and learn from someone who's been around for a while. You can be in that, so I can have a familiar face in the surgery room. Right. But no, I ain't let you do surgery on me right out the gate. Nah. Insurance, I'll take it. I'll take a life insurance policy from you.
yeah, exactly. Like, I think I'm probably the same. Yeah, like I would actually, again, distinguishing between friend versus associate. A friend, I actually would want a friend, other than the doctor thing, like you said. I'd want him. I would if he was if he's been a doctor for 10 years, then all for it. But like just becoming a doctor, let's wait a little bit. But all the other stuff, all the other stuff, I'd be totally down for. One, I'm supporting my friend in his business, and also because he's my friend, I know he's going to have my best interest, and he's not going to screw me. So absolutely, I would.
Unless we've been a friend and I've seen them do horribly in business. If they've done horribly in business, we're gonna have a conversation before I support it, depending on what it is. But if you don't make good business, if you don't make good business decisions, I as a friend, it's my duty to tell you I can't trust you. So
okay, now we're going to step it up. Lending and or borrowing money.
Again, depending on the friend. If it's a friend that's trustworthy, that I know we good. Sometimes you give friends money, and you be like, man, I don't even expect this back. So we good. But if it's a amount of,
oh, you're cutting out a little bit. Hang on one sec, Carlos. It's tripping. Oh wait, I think you're back. Okay, say that again.
Yeah, if it's a friend that I've trusted for a long time, I've known for a long time, we can do it. We can even do a payment plan. Just as long as I get my money back.
100%. So, do you have a story? I have two stories of lending money, and there's a saying that it's like whatever that amount is, that's what you paid to find out that they're not your friend or get them out of your life or whatever. I had one. Fuck it, I'll name him Harold Gomez. This motherfucker, the comic. And when my grandparents, when my grandmother passed away, my grandfather had passed away first, then my grandmother passed away. And when we sold our house, like myself, my cousin Scotty, and then my pops and my uncle, we split it kind of 4 ways, right? And I'm pretty like transparent. Like if I consider you my friend, it's like if I got it, we got it. Or if
Absolutely.
you need it, I consider you a friend, then don't worry about it. So this motherfucker, I got the money, a chunk of money. It was like in around like in October or something of this year. This is like 10 years ago or something. So this fool puts together like a whole PowerPoint of like, he wants to borrow $5,000, but he puts together this whole PowerPoint and it's like, I want to get some presents for my daughters and, and all this. And so before he even starts getting into it, and again, we were roommates for a while. And so I interrupt him. I go, Harold, you don't need to do all this. I know you're good for it. I thought, I know you're good for it. I go, you don't need to do all this. I'm like, it's fine. I got it, so I can do it. It doesn't break me or anything. That's fine. So he even wrote out like a thing, like I owe Jay 5,000. I'll pay it back, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Nope. The first thing he bought was a laptop for himself. But I'm like, hey, once I let him borrow the money,
you do whatever you need to do.
Exactly. You get me and you are very similar, Carlos. I think because we're both classics.
Absolutely.
We come from the late 1900s.
Pretty much. Yeah, right before the cusp of the 1800s.
Dude. So this like over the next, I don't know, years, I think probably 4 or 5 years later, he paid me back $1,000 and then just stopped replying to texts, calls, answering anything or whatever. So I was like, all right, I get it. But so, I'm like, that's fucked. It's just disappointing. You're like, I didn't think you were like that.
But and that's even worse because, like you said, y'all were roommates, so it makes it even worse. Y'all built a rapport over years. So why would you do that? Why would you think that was okay to do that to me? Why would you do that to me, not to somebody you knew? So yeah, I'd be pissed off for real. Yeah, I've lent. I think the most I've ever lent someone was $1,500, and they didn't pay me back. And they flat out told me I ain't got it, and you ain't never getting it. So I was like, okay, well then I guess we're here. And of course, that was the
shit
dissolution of our relationship as friends. But it was a life lesson. I don't lend out a whole bunch of money now, especially now. I'm very conscious of my own finances. I'm like, man, unless I know I'm getting it back, and like I said, if it's a friend that I know for a while, then we can work out a payment plan. I'm not gonna press you because, like I said, if I got it, you got it. We all good. We friends. That's what friends do. But yeah, I want my money back, or we're gonna have to box this out.
Yeah. And I like there's certain friends like my buddy, I don't know if you met Sean. He's not a comic, but he produced comedy shows and shit. And he's around our age. But like Sean and I both at various times, I've let him borrow money. And sometimes mainly him letting me borrow chunks, like pretty big amount. But I've always been where it's like, if I owe somebody money, it's like, that's my first thing I want to pay before anything else. Like it's a priority. I got to get them back as soon as I can. I remember there was this one dude and we were like associates and could become pretty good friends. We were right on that cusp. And this wasn't a large amount of money, but it was a principal thing. So he, I don't remember the money, but it was like, let's say it was like $100. It was probably not even that much, but it was like around that much, nothing major. But at the time I was telling it, something was coming up where he was like, let's say he was asking to borrow it on a Monday. And he tells me, he's like, and I'll get it back to you on Thursday. Right. And I was like, okay, I can do that, but just know I have to get it back on Thursday because Friday I have to pay this other thing. And I need that money by Friday, no matter what. Got my word. No problem. Okay, cool. Thursday comes. This guy's fucking Houdini. I don't know where he's at. Friday, nothing. So then I start, and this is back, I think, when I was doing MMA, and so I was fucking a little heated, and I was getting fucking pretty pissed.
Of course.
So I'm texting him, and then he finally was like, oh, I think it was like on Saturday or Sunday, and he was like, geez, it's not that much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, it's the point that you were like, you have my word, you'll get it back on Thursday. And I kept telling you how important. So when he did pay me back. And then when he finally did, he was like, like he had an attitude, and I'm like, who the fuck? What the fuck do you have an
Man,
attitude?
right? Those be the ones. It's like because it's communication. I can understand if
Yes.
you don't have it on the day that you said, then just communicate with me. Don't leave me in the wind and hanging on a limb, thinking, "Hey, man, shoot, I guess he ain't paying me back." Now I got to get mad and want to fight you, and then get and to get mad after the fact. Then we might have to fight even after after you give me the money back on principle. On
Yes.
principle, that is the interest is an ass whooping.
Dude, I was so fucking annoyed, and oh dude, yeah. And everything you said, again, we're very it's that I think it's maybe it's our generation or how we were raised, but it's like yeah, the communication thing. Like if he'd have called me on Thursday and be like, "Hey, I'm just letting you know, I know I said I'd have it, but I don't." And then I'd be like, "Okay, I can adjust, I can pivot, I can try and figure out something else." But to just fucking disappear is so
communication is, but that's also friendships too, real genuine friendships. I pick up the phone or and call you and say, "Hey Jay, I don't have it today. I'm still working on this. Things are not where it's supposed to be, but I got you, bro." And then you be like, "Oh, okay, well shit, we good."
Yeah,
We
exactly.
good. I'll work on this end on getting what I need to get taken care of, and we'll get back to you.
Why can't people just? It's just I don't know.
But hey, man, karma is a bitch. It comes back around one way or the other. But I'm not a fan of lending out money anyway, because I'm very conscious of my own finances, and I want to make sure I'm building up for my own generational wealth. So I don't want nothing taken away from that. But if I do, then we have to have it on some terms that you're gonna pay me my money back. It's just that simple.
Pay me my money.
Pay me my money.
Pay me
my money.
Pay me my money.
I'll put that on the t-shirt. Pay me my money.
Pay me my money. Give me my money.
Right.
Okay. Okay. This is this next topic. It's 3-parter. Do you see about Trump got his fine reduced?
I heard about it in passing, but
so he owed like they wanted the fine initially was like 480 million or something like that, and they lowered it to like 120 million. So he went from $500 million to like that. First thing. The second thing, did you hear about the Trump stock?
I did hear about that again in passing, but tell me more about this.
So he changed what it was. I forget the initials, but now I think it's DJT, Donald J. Trump stock, and or Donald J.W. I can't remember, but it's gone up. It just was the other day, and I think it already went up like 100%. And like they said, he made like $4 billion. And so they were talking about what he's going to do is just pump and dump, take the money, file bankruptcy. Thanks, guys. Dude. And here's the thing: is I guess I lean more towards Democrat, but I'm not like I would vote for a Republican if I listen to what they say. Like. And it's not like I'm like, oh, Joe Biden, you know. Like,
dude, how is it?
Yeah, exactly. But fucking Jesus Christ, that'll be the clip that will advertise it.
Right. There it is. There goes the viral one.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like if you're like, but Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump, but people immediately like, oh, like Biden's so better. I'm like, nah, not necessarily.
One of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Biden, I mean, you know, God bless him, but he is getting up there, and Trump's fucking right behind him. But
absolutely,
Trump's just a fucking scumbag and a weasel. I'm like, oh fuck, and people are just so dumb that are following blindly. And but dude, I think he might fucking win if he.
I can tell you right now, he's going to. I mean, without a doubt. And it's crazy that we're sitting here talking about that. And again, I don't do politics either. I don't really care. I'm about, hey, how can I make my life better on my own? I'm not worried about who's at the top of it. But this dude is going to win again. This country is going to see it happen, and it's a president who has federal pending charges. How is this possible?
Dude,
how is this possible?
And like he's already, I think I don't want to misquote, but I think he like jokingly said something about like trying to go for a third term. So are we going to have another January 6th thing when because he can't run it. He can't run again after
Well,
this.
he's already said, and I can't quote it, but I thought I saw
The
an interview
bloodbath?
last week. Yes.
Yeah, he was
If he
talking
doesn't
about.
win this time.
So a little context, but he still said it. He was talking about like bringing car manufacturers back. He was talking to like I think I don't know which, like if it was GM or whatever, but he was talking to like a group of car manufacturers, and he was like, and when I get in there, we're gonna bring it all back to the US. And he's like, I better get in there, otherwise it's going to be a bloodbath. So I mean, he was talking about like, I mean, who knows what the fuck he was talking about, but he was saying it in context to like, to the car thing. But also I think he probably will, dude, I heart the long. Oh, sorry, fucking Victoria.
I mean, I don't put anything past what goes on in this country anymore. I can see it happening if he doesn't win, but I also can see him winning for sure. But it's also crazy that these are the two best choices that we have in America. You're telling me that these are the two best candidates that we have in the entire country? Come on, man.
Dude, I'm exactly. I'm like, fuck, man. Oh,
it makes no sense at all. But this is America,
dude. And it's like some of this stuff. I mean, you can see it on both Democrats or Republicans, but the videos I see of where these people will be interviewing Trump supporters, and like, the funniest thing to me is you have these Trump supporter or MAGA or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and they'll tell you, they go, "Oh, Trump's president right now." And you're like, Trump's president right now. They'll go, yeah, Trump's still running things. He just, they're doing it behind the scenes. And then they'll go, oh, so how do you like Biden's policies? And they'll be like, oh, Biden, no, this is horrible. And you go, but I thought Trump was in power. So is it Trump doing this or is it Biden?
Oh, well.
Yeah. And then their brain shuts down mine did when the cop said, how'd you get the vape in?
Right. Exactly, because you can't you just sound idiotic. Come on, man. Just be quiet.
It's fine.
Be quiet.
And I love watching. I think we talked about it on our road trip out to San Diego, and I love watching debate videos. Like I love people that can debate, smart people, because I'm not. So it's like, but they could be debating something that I don't even agree with their point, but I'm like, I like how they, how they frame it or how they set that up, and so I watch a lot of videos on both sides, and it's interesting, but fucking some of these Trump supporters, just you just drill down on questions. They had Robert Stone's nephew was getting interviewed on one thing, and he goes, he was asking him, he goes, so you think the election was stolen? And the guy was like, yeah. And he goes, and he lists like 15 things, like the people that Trump put into office, the people that were under Trump, that all said it was not stolen. But there's like one guy that's like a conspiracy guy that says it was. And he's like, so you believe Trump and this guy, but you don't believe these fucking 50 other people,
that he hired.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That he hired. Let's be clear.
Oh,
that he hired. Hey, we're gonna see. I guess what is it, November? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, and it is what it is. People just gotta keep pressing on for themselves personally, and try to make their lives better. But I don't trust nobody at the top,
dude. And I will give him credit. He did have a funny meme. Somebody asked him after they lowered his fine. They go, Mr. Trump or President Trump, or they're like, how are you going to pay that? And he just looks back and he just goes, cash.
I mean, he has some funny. He definitely has funny moments, and you be like, wow, he really said that. He really said that, and it's comical and all in the same breath.
Yeah, B.S. Jeffrey said every election is rigged. The military-industrial complex always wins. Yeah, it's like, and the other thing too is it's like, you have these two guys, whoever ends up being president. I mean, there's like 50 other people or 50 other factors that are doing the final decisions, like,
of course.
I mean, otherwise we'd have had a wall that was paid for by Mexico.
That is true. And there it is.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get off it. Cause I'm like, just talking in circles. Did you see the P. Diddy shit?
Of course.
Dude.
Hey, karma.
I
was
saw.
talking about it earlier.
Did you see where he was pacing at the airport?
No, I didn't see that part. That was recent. That was just within the past 24 hours.
I think it was yesterday. So I think there was a plane taking off from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I could be butchering this story, and it was going somewhere out of the country.
I want to say
and
Antigua.
that plane, okay, and this whatever this plane was, it had taken off, but P. Diddy was still in Florida, and he was like it looked like he was in the parking lot, and he was just kind of walking in a circle, and somebody was inside filming him. And,
yes, indeed.
Looking a little stressed.
Well, I would say so. That wall is coming down fast. It's coming down extremely fast, and hey, I don't know what to say about it.
And what this is about? This is regarding what? About
sex
the
trafficking.
shooting? Oh shit!
Yeah, no, sex trafficking. That's why Homeland Security is involved, because it involves sex trafficking. So this dude has been doing some dirt, and that's been an undertone for many years. But
I heard he was also undertone.
What?
There was some dude named Tony was under.
And Meek Mill.
Yeah, dude. wasn't so meek at the time.
Right now, no, he was just Mill.
Fucking Meek Drill.
Meek Drilled.
Yeah.
You had to change his name.
Yeah.
Drilled.
Yes, Jeffrey said he's the Black Epstein. I thought it was like what, because they took his sons in too.
No, they just detained him because they were in the house.
Was that?
Yeah, they just because they were in the house, so they had to get everybody out the house, so nobody, I guess, removed anything that was of pertinent information to them. So, but the sons came back, and what I've heard is the sons went in and they packed their shit up today and bailed out. But this is about to be a nightmare for him, for sure.
And what do you know anything about, like, the shooting that I guess his son was there also?
Again, I'm like you now. I might be butchering it. I think P. Diddy did it, and his son. Both him and his son did it. And so, I mean, it's so much stuff. He's gonna come out to it. He actually was orchestrated the Tupac killing. I mean, it's a lot. And I'm just putting it out.
Dude, I bet
he did that too. He did that too.
This is, dude. There's a document. I'll tell you about it in a sec. This. I can't, it's terrifying to think of. Like, I mean, luckily I don't have like dirt of shit that I did way in the past, but like people that do that shit, like P. Diddy, or like the shit Russell Simmons got charged with, or fucking Epstein or whatever, or Harvey Weinstein. I'm like, all I would think, like, that cloud just hanging over you your whole life, day after day, is today the day that I get fucking found out.
But I don't think those dudes, they're, first of all, they're narcissists.
True.
So as narcissists, you don't think about the backlash of what you're doing in the moment. You're living constantly for the foolishness. So they're narcissists, and they don't think that they're ever, and they're powerful men, so they don't think that they're going to ever be caught, or that it's ever going to hit them like that.
That's a good point.
Until it starts crashing down, and then the world starts crumbling around them, the reality sets in, and I'm sure they're still trying to figure out a way out of this, but there's no way out of it.
What I was going to say, the documentary, I was going to say that it reminds me of, like, the opposite of a documentary that I saw. I'm trying to find it here. Have you seen the documentary Searching for Sugarman? Sugarman?
What about it? I don't want. I'm not sure.
Do you know what it's about, or do you know anything about it? Oh, you're cutting out. Come back to me, Carlos. Come back. Come on back, Carlos. Come on back. You're frozen. Come on, Carlos.
Am I back?
Okay, you're back.
Okay. So I've just heard the name of it. I don't know enough to speak intelligently on it.
Okay, so I'll give you the rundown of it. It's so fucking dope. It's such a cool documentary, and you'll see what I mean about it being the opposite. So this guy, Rodriguez, he, I think it went by the Sugarman. Anyways, he was a musician. He kind of had a Bob Dylan sound and kind of a Beatles sound. And I think it was in the 60s or 70s. Put out a record, right? Didn't do shit in the U.S. Didn't do nothing at all, right? And this guy he just kind of disappeared, right? It just so happened I think it was in Africa. They used his music like as apartheid, like freedom music. Okay. And so where he was popular, I think it was Africa. He was like fucking Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson. We'll say like Michael Jackson over there. And this guy had no idea, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago, this guy, he was like, I wonder what happened from there. He from Africa or wherever. And now I got to look it up because I keep saying that. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be so fucking dumb.
Jeffrey says South Africa. Yeah.
South Africa. Yes. Okay. All right. Mm. So, this guy wanted to do a documentary about him. And so there was all these rumors. There was a rumor that he, because he didn't get famous, one night he went to an open mic and was playing music and lit himself on fire and died. Right. Well, come to find out, he wasn't dead. This guy doing the documentary got a hold of Rodriguez's daughter and said, he's alive. And she's like, yeah, I think he worked construction. He was like a construction worker. And this guy's like, you don't understand. He's a fucking hero in South Africa. And she's like, what? And he's like, could I interview him? So she's like, let me get in contact. So they exchange numbers. He calls him and he goes, you are a hero. And he's like, so long story short, he goes, I want to fly you out to South Africa and put on a concert. So they do. And this whole time he's just kind of, he's like, okay, is this horse shit? They pick him up in a limo. They fly him out there. They pick him up in a limo in South Africa. They take him to an arena that is fucking sold out. And he just plays like the first few notes of one of his songs from like the 70s. Place erupts, goes crazy. And I'm like, it's just insane. Can you imagine, like, let's say in fucking Sweden, you are Eddie Murphy and you have no fucking idea. Like, we just go about our existence
over here on fries.
Yeah, dude. You're like, dude, I just got 1,000 followers on Instagram. I'm starting to make it. And someplace across the world, you are the shit. And then imagine somebody, like, you just get a random call one day. Like, how would you react to that? Somebody just going, hey, Carlos, I know you don't know me, but in Switzerland, dude, you are fucking you're a star. You're a superstar. How would you react to that?
This would be my face. I'd be like, what kind of African scam is this? Like, it's like, what's going on here? Send me money first. Send me money first. Right?
And poor Rodriguez, it actually was Africa.
See, right? See?
Yeah.
He had no clue. That would be wild. That would be, I can't even imagine what that would be like. Dude, because that's some next level stuff right there.
I know, it's so crazy. It's a great documentary, and the it's pretty dope. And it definitely has a Bob Dylan kind of infused with Beatles on some of the songs. I'm huge on uninhibited islands across the glove. All right, dope. It must be a big glove. The glabo, you're doing better. Yes, are you having a stroke?
Typing real fast now.
Yeah. But dude, yeah,
globe, yeah.
It's such a cool, because the guy Rodriguez, he seemed like he was a real sweet guy. He passed away, and then there's also, God, what's his name? There was another dope documentary. Singer, this guy, he sings from his fucking nuts. Charles, oh God, what's his name? He passed away. Charles Bradley.
Okay, I've heard of Charles Bradley. I don't
have you heard his music?
No, I probably have, and don't even realize it.
Oh, it's so good. He was a James Brown impersonator, and he could nail it. And this is fucking, I think he was 50 something when he was discovered. So some little independent record company put out like an ad on Craigslist that they said, we're looking for singers. So he walks in and he's like, I sing. And then they're like, oh, what do you want to sing? He was like, how about James Brown? So they play and he fucking kills it. So they go, the guy's like, I have just the band for you. Come back tomorrow, we'll record. He comes back the next day. He's in full James Brown outfit. And they go, what are you doing? He goes, they go, we don't want James Brown. We want you. We're going to do original songs. And then the guy, I think he had the for the year that he released his record. I think it was the best-selling independent record of the year. I love stories like that, dude. It's like
you can't beat them. You can't
Dude.
beat them. Just good people who just happen to be found at the right time. That's all you can say.
Dude, there's like a handful of stories I hold on to that every night when I have that gun just about to go, and I'm like, wait, think about the story. I'm just kidding,
You
guys.
go watch those documentaries.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a disclaimer. That was for joking material
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, you're almost doing a Manny. We just like stay here at the HollingsWorthless. These are jokes, and keep fighting the good fight. We
That's
love
all you can
everybody,
do.
and
And I
give us a call.
like this right here.
You're cutting out, so it sounds so creepy. It just sounds like,
Okay.
and then
I don't know what's going on with my connection today. That's weird. Might be cutting my cable off even as we speak.
Like there's have you seen A Bronx Tale?
I have seen A Bronx Tale.
There's a story about Chaz Palmintero, the guy that plays the mob boss. He
Mhm.
wrote that, and I guess he was an actor and he was like getting by, but he hadn't really blown up. And he wrote that, and he was shopping it around Hollywood, and everybody that came up that was interested, they're like, "We love it. We want to buy it. We'll buy it, 200,000." And he's like, "Okay, can I play the mob boss?" And they're like, "No, we're gonna recast." And he's like, "Fuck, I can't sell it." So I guess some of the at one point it got up to like some crazy amount of money, and he was meeting them at dinner, and they wanted to buy it, and he's like, "Can I play it?" And they're like, "No, we're gonna recast." So he's like, "Give me a minute." And he went in the restroom, and I guess he was like looking in the mirror, and he was like, "What are you doing? You need this money. You fucking need the money." But he wants to play it. And then Bob, like I'm fucking friends with him. Robert De Niro got the Bobby, fucking
Right.
Bobo.
Okay.
I guess he got the script, and he's like, he hits up Chaz, and he's like, "I want to make this movie." And then he's like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna want to play the mob boss." But he goes, "Can I play the mob boss?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll just play the dad, the bus driver." And then it got made, and I'm like, "Fuck, man." Just
Sometimes you gotta stick to your, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta stick to your own guns and kind of go with your gut feeling on what you feel is right for you, and hope that it works out, and eventually hopefully that it does, like in these cases right here.
fuck yeah. I know Patrice always talked about golden handcuffs, where they
Mhm.
they give you, like something to where you're like, where you feel like, okay, I have to conform to what they
Mhm.
want, since they gave me all that money. And dude, it's that Searching for Sugar Man is such a fucking dope documentary. I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna check it out for sure. For sure.
It's a good show, much like Pass the Mic show. Oh, what's that? Why don't you tell us about it, Carlos? We'll
Pass the
do our
Mic shit.
plug, and we'll talk about this show.
Yeah, so Pass the Mic is my show. We started off at a different venue, but it's currently now at Wise Guys Comedy Club Town Square, which is Vegas's newest and biggest comedy club in the city. So we just started this new location here this past Sunday. The next one is April the 7th. And guess who's headlining?
Yeah. Who?
That would be you, Big
gotta
Irish
point the other
J.
way.
Big Irish
Point- There you go.
This day, Big Irish J is going to be headlining. So,
Yeah.
and we have, if you're following it, follow at Pass the Mic Comedy or at Comedian Carlos. Where is it? Right here.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have a good announcement coming out this weekend or this weekend this week. So we're making some moves and trying to make it the go-to spot for Sundays.
Yes. It's bi-weekly, right?
Bi-weekly currently until we get it built up, and then hopefully this is I kind of want to get it like LA has chocolate Sundays.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get it like that where everybody comes and it's a party, it's an event every Sunday. So I'm excited about it for sure.
And you had Skills, right?
Skills Hudson headline at the last one. Mary Upchurch was a feature. So I'm only and we've talked about this too, man. I when you're putting on a show, you want to have quality comics on the show to help promote it and make it look like something. So I'm only bringing the best for sure.
Yeah, and he had it over. Actually, we don't even need to say the place, but he used to have it at a casino, and it was fucking great. It was it's such a fun show, and Carlos is fucking such an amazing host that like the by the time you go on stage, the room is set. It's fucking on fire.
And we got DJ Mr. Twist. So we got a DJ. We got great comics. Yeah. And so if we get this other edition coming, yeah, it's gonna be a game changer. And I'm excited about it. I'm extremely excited about it.
DJ Twist, aka DJT, same initials as Donald J. Trump.
No.
I know. Let me see. What do I got? Also, while you're listening to this or watching this, Boo is back. My bombing fucking Boo. It's now changed to just Boo, so it's easier to find on iTunes and everything. You probably don't want a swear word, so it's just Boo bombing stories with Big Irish J. But we did Carlos's a couple of weeks ago, and got another one that's going to come out Thursday. But yours is one of my favorites. Did you see I posted that clip of it today?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. I don't want to. I posted a little bit of it. You can go watch it. It's on my playlist, Boo playlist. But let me tell you what I got coming up. Let's see. This week, the Thursday, the 28th, I'll be at Jimmy Kimmel's for Comedy and Cocktails, the show run by Jay Reed, the fucking great Jay Reed. And then Saturday I'm doing Don't Tell Comedy. I don't know where it's at yet because that's how they work. You find out day of. And then next month, April, I'll be doing the Dope Show up in Seattle the weekend of 420. I'll be up there for a bunch of shows. And then the week after that, I'll be in Florida and Wesley Chapel by Tampa, Florida. You can go to bigirishj.com for tickets. Carlos, your website is parttimefamous.com.
You got it. You got
Go follow
stuff on that. Yeah.
And come to the shows if you're in Vegas, or come out to Vegas for the show. Fuck it. And until next time, next time, I'm going to call you in like 2 minutes, by the way, Carlos. Okay. But until next time, thanks everybody tuning in. Love you. Bye. Bye.
Peace.
Yeah.